There we go. This. So we have got about 75% people visiting us again. So basis on the feedback which we have received from past Qafé Quantums, we have now changed our flow to a much appropriate way so that people who are visiting us again do not have to go through the basic stuff again. And now we are going to talk and split the presentation into two parts. One would be how quantum is addressing townships and co-living. We'll do just a minute of introduction about the organization and we'll jump into the topic straight away. And then for the 25-27% people who are actually coming in for the first time, we will then talk about, after the main part of vertical focus is over, we will talk about why quantum. Why should you consider these guys, the new kids on the block? And we will try and address as many queries as possible. So we are going to have two Q&A sessions. One would be vertical specific, which would be the first half of our presentation. And the second half of the presentation would be questions about just quantum networks. And we are also going to do product demonstrations for people who would be interested in that. I'll be constantly doing polls. So I would really appreciate if you can give me a feedback so that we can take up the speed accordingly. So it's going to be a very interactive session. Anything which you have to ask, there is a Q&A right at the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen, depending on the configuration of what you have selected. You can raise a question. We would be taking up all the questions in first part when the vertical focus approach is done. And then the second part would be once we have completed our product positionings as well. So here we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking out time today for joining us on the Qafé Quantum, which is focused completely on townships and the co-living spaces. Now, these are the spaces which are basically, it can be any MDU, it can be a villa, it can be an apartment, it can be anything. So basically, these two spaces are something which are going to help you to get into government spaces, because townships primarily are done by a lot of PSUs, obviously due to the remoteness of the sites, and co-living is a concept which is picking up really, really fast and it's going viral. So we wanted to address the kind of staying, the co-living concept on a wholesome way together in townships and co-living. So quickly telling you what quantum is, who are these guys. The company is formed in 2017. Based out of Singapore, primary R&D in Singapore. Now we have set up a complete software R&D now in India, and we are now very efficiently developing a lot of functionalities which are relevant. We have now expanded into multiple countries, India being the epicenter of the sales, and me, Abhijit Poddar, I am the National Head of Sales for India and SAARC, and I take care of the global business development as well. So we have now expanded in India, countries in SAARC. We have expanded in Africa, multiple countries, 5 countries to be precise. And we were about to enter the Middle East and the Europe, but obviously the Corona situation has stalled those plans, but we're pretty much on game and on point of what we wanted to achieve. So we are right there talking to every possible customer with every possible competition OEM. And what has made us really unique is the whole thought process and the vision which we carry. So the vision, quantum vision is very simple. We say that we are a customer-led approach organization. We all come from, the team Quantum comes from a field experience. So I'm part of the product development as well. So what we have done at Quantum is, now the field is connected to the R&D. So R&D is not an incubation cell somewhere in the corner of the world where they are not really connected to the ground realities. We take the ground realities and we address that. So we don't like to create functionalities which are probably, oh, this might be useful. No, there are challenges which are already customers are facing. We are addressing the elephant in the room, and that's it. That's the basic thing which we have got. So customer-led approach basically results in an R&D which actually follows the customer. So unlike the other OEMs who say R&D creates a concept, then the marketing creates a fabulous collateral, and then they come to partners like you and they say, this is what your customer needs. We say, not anymore. We have seen, I come from a more than a decade experience just in Wi-Fi, right from installing an access point on the wall now, heading the business for a manufacturing unit of an access point solution. We have seen it all, and we have taken all those pain points which were not addressed by the majority of OEMs, and we have taken it. So what does it do? What does it mean for a client or a partner like you? R&D customer को follow करे? I don't see any value. I'll tell you the value. The functionalities now what we create are more focused on the productivity of the IT personnel. Let it be a pre-sales or a post-sales support engineer in your team, or an IT manager or a CIO of an organization who's looking at the whole network in a bird's eye view. Every functionality which you see today with Quantum is going to be very, very focused on making every task easier. So we don't go by, so every new OEM has got an option that I like this, I like that, customers like that of that OEM, let me put it in and make something out of it. We didn't do that. We started with our ground up approach, and we made every possible functionality which a customer needed in a network. We broke it down to such a small level, and we got it delivered in the most easiest way possible. So that is what we are going to cover in a lot of details in the why quantum section of the second half of this presentation. Lastly, and the most important thing, Quantum is one OEM, a Wi-Fi OEM, which is going to talk to you about solutions, not just products, not just the dabba, not just an access point which does 2 cross 2, 4 cross 4, 10 cross press, or 100 cross 100. We don't talk about boxes, we talk about solutions. And we are going to make sure with Quantum, that is the vision which we want to emphasize with everybody, that we want you to work with us to create and lead the market with solutions which are non-existent right now by any other Wi-Fi OEM in totality. Let's get on to the main thing, the need of the hour. What do we do? Townships, co-living spaces. What we do in this particular section is, generally we used to take it in the last, but a lot of our partners gave us a feedback that we want that first. And for this, I would really request you, once this webinar is over, I want your feedback. We try to incorporate every feedback. I go through each and every feedback which you guys give, and we try to incorporate and make this platform better for all of us and make it more effective, right? So let's start off with this thing. This section starts off with what are the challenges, what are the needs, and then we talk about how Quantum can answer that well, or how Quantum addresses it well. So the first thing, an optimum and a reliable Wi-Fi coverage. Both townships and co-living are tight on funds. So they need an access point which gives them and coverage which is optimum, because the best coverage is a myth. You and I, all of us know it in the room, that we have a very straight up approach that an optimum coverage is, if an access point is selected basis on the coverage, it should do that much amount of coverage. That's about it. So the sizing part of it becomes important. So we give you an, so a customer basically talks that I need an optimum coverage with my access point, which is reliable as well. It's not something that I get a coverage and the Wi-Fi is not working. That's not the kind of thing which a client wants. A secured Wi-Fi access. This is something which is very, very important. Security in today's date is a very paramount requirement, and it is imperative that every solution which you take as a customer or as a partner, extending it to your end customer, should be secured. Scalability. Not every township is frozen to only certain. You end up getting into a situation where your controller management platform can only extend to a certain level. So we have got clients which we have found, which we have come across, which had a problem that they went in with some solution, and at the end of the day, they had to change their management platform, and they got charged a bomb for that. So that's something which is pretty much a very base requirement by every client. Easy management platform. This is something which every IT manager needs. He needs to make sure that the uptime of the network is up. The network management platform should be simple. It should be something that they are able to manage it on a jiffy without having to put too much of energy and too much of brain on it. And the most important thing, both in co-living and townships, you will have authentication and authorization services which are required for both their residences, people with their co-living areas, or the common areas. It could be the common park between a society or MDUs. It could be probably a food area or a pantry or a cafeteria in a co-living space. So they need a good authentication solution on an overall perspective to make sure that they are able to get a good solution. Addressing all this is what we call as Advantage Quantum. Now, Advantage Quantum talks about 5 key aspects of every network: deployment, monitoring, management, diagnostics. Wi-Fi is very prone to, due to its physical media, it's prone to a lot of problems. So diagnostics and security. These 5 aspects contribute to the entire user experience on both the sides of the access point. Now, user experience is something which you'll be hearing from us a lot, because Quantum as an organization focuses on both the user experiences. Access point, the people behind it, the IT team, the managers, the CIOs, the partners, the post-sale teams of yours. The second user experience is the people sitting in front of the access point, the users, the actual consumers of Wi-Fi. What Advantage Quantum brings to you is just adds these simple words. With our complete innovation in technology, we have made the deployment process easy, which can bring down your deployment time and cost by 50%. We'll be covering that in the later half of my presentation. Monitoring and management becomes so simple and intuitive. You see a management platform, I can guarantee to you 15 minutes is all it takes to understand our app, and 1 hour will all it take for you to understand the complete controller interface on there, on your laptop. That is what we have created, making everything simple and much more intuitive. Diagnostics is a very big part in Wi-Fi. And if somebody says that their Wi-Fi works without a thing, you know that that's a myth. Wi-Fi, because of its shared media, has got some of the other problems. How can we make that very, very innovative is what we have delivered in Advantage Quantum. And security, I would love to explain a complete slide on that. That Quantum Secure is something which we have created as a proprietary security algorithm, which makes us really exclusive in terms of the security which we are now offering on our management platform, absolutely included in the standard offerings without any subscriptions. So delivering Quantum. Advantage Quantum is very simple in terms of, like I said, we talk about solutions. So we don't say that we'll give you a reliable DAPA or a reliable access point. We'll give you a reliable solution which will take both the user interfaces, user experiences into consideration. We follow what is known as an app-first approach to a cloud-managed network. So basically, the entire manageability would be on the cloud. However, your day-to-day interface would just be your app. There would be nothing else which you need for 90% of your day-to-day work. Cloud brings you the flexibility of scalability. Quantum brings to you a scalable platform. Now you can manage your network up to 10,000 access points through a single interface, single account, 10,000 access points. We give you a stretch warranties guaranteed. So now we have got customers like New Delhi Municipal Corporation, which is the richest civic body in Asia. We have given them a commitment of 9 years of support. So our standard warranties are there, 3 years on indoor, 1 year on outdoor. But if your project needs a specific number of years of support, you can let us know. We can incorporate it with extended warranty. Our RMAs are also return to bench 24 hours. Next business day ship. 24 hours is what we take to ship back, even if it's a software or a hardware issue. Quantum Secure, like I said, we're going to talk about it in why Quantum in the second part of my presentation. Hardware is what is going to deliver the majority part, because that is where the users will connect. So we have these 4 set of hardware which we have created. All of them are purpose built. QNI 200 gives you a performance for 25 to 35 clients per access point. So you want to put it in one house wherein you've got a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK, this access point takes care of it. Co-living space has got more people cramped in into 3 BHKs, this access point can still take care of it. So 25 users on an access point, even if people huddle up for a party, they can actually take up the load for up to 25, 35 clients. QNI 220s are currently the flagship product, which is capable of right where 200 stops. It starts from there. It starts from 35 users and it is running on clients with almost a user load of 60 to 70 clients 12 hours a day. So this is something which is a very robust hardware which we have created. QNO 230 is our outdoor access point. This is something which we have used in few of our projects in townships, because there are some really large fields and large areas in all these townships which are created by PSU. So this gives you the functionality of it's an 11 AC wave to grab that's just general tech talk. It comes with an IP67 protection. So rain, sandstorm, dust storm, nothing to worry about. B, it comes with a fiber port. Now you can run your outdoor access point beyond that 90-meter block, and you can now extend it to kilometers. You can use then the copper port for powering up and then use the same cable to feed into, let's say, the guard room, the security room outside on the main gate. You can use the same fiber which goes to the access point and uses it as a backhaul to the guest to the guard room as well. QNH 220 is a focused access point. It is for per room coverage. It is majorly focused on hospitality, but it can be also put into dedicated bedrooms, and it does a pretty good job in covering 220 to 270, 280 square feet like a charm. So it makes sure that you have the right mix of all the application which there can be, and you just decide what purpose you want of an access point and you can simply make out a decision. Now for people who might be saying that where is the 4x4? It's coming now. QNI 440 is going to get launched. Due to this corona, it got delayed. It was supposed to get launched in April. It will be now available to you in the month of June, deliveries too. Fulfillment quantum. How do we fulfill the requirements? So this was just the general thing as to what we do. Now let's get into the specifics. With our MU MIMO supporting access points, you have got your public places, you have got your houses. Every application for next 5 to 7 years is covered with one investment done on quantum. Every access point is 11 AC, which is on 5 gigahertz, and 5 gigahertz is the only technology which is being worked upon. Obviously, 6 gigahertz is likely to come in a couple of years. Probably in India, it will take more than 3-4 years. But till then, even then, 5 gigahertz is going to be at the standard. So you got all our access points on 5 gigahertz, making sure your investments and your customer investments are protected. Quantum Secure is going to give you the airtight security which you want for the in-house users, for the staff, for everybody. You want them as a regular users, you can use that. Quantum Rudder and ACE, that is our Rudder is our cloud platform and ACE is our app, mobile platform through which you can manage your network. That makes your day-to-day IT operations simplified. So basically, I'm telling you all the points which I said in the needs, how we are going to address it. And lastly, the authentication solution. We bring in, and I introduce you to the quantum solution. Let's talk about what do we give in townships. Townships are very simple. A user comes in, I've got my home, Abhijit Podar. I should be able to log in. If I'm the part of the authentication system, it should be take my credentials and it should let me in. So it is going to be as easy as, without having to put any gateway, an access point will give you the captive portal. You put in your credentials, it goes through the switching infrastructure, goes out on the internet. Then it comes on to the collab services. And once the authentication is complete, then the user is allowed. Notice one thing, no appliances, no authentication appliances. It is all happening through just the access point which you have seen. There is nothing else which you need to put anywhere, which is the standard deployment. But even for a AAA solution, you need to end up deploying one particular appliance on the gateway, not with us. So the quantum solution is a gateway-less architecture, ensuring that you have a system which works like a charm without having to depend or without having to take up any. Narendra, you have raised a question, raised your hand. Please write in your queries in Q&A. I'll be taking it up in a few minutes. So townships is this. Now let's get into the co-living. Now co-living is a different animal altogether. So Abhijit wants to move from New Delhi to, let's say, Bangalore. I want to move there for 6 months. I go to a website of co-living. I say I need to get a place for 6 months. I book it. I get my booking ID. Now look at the authentication bit. So now I come in. I try to request. It asks me for my credentials. I just put in my booking ID. The booking ID goes back. It goes back to my Wi-Fi authentication solution. It goes back to their booking system of the organization. If the booking system is there, I will be allowed for 6 months on the device, which I've just put my credentials on. Automating the entire thing. This is currently managed mostly manually. We have created this system which can now talk to any booking system which is open to APIs. And we have now done it. We have done trials with some clients and we have done success as well. So we have got one of the biggest co-working spaces shifting to us. And this is one of the promises which we have given to them, that we are going to make sure that they have their booking system talking to the Wi-Fi and no worries about it. Everything will be taken care of in a jiffy. The best thing about this is, as Quantum, we take care of end to end. You install the switches, you install the router, you install just the access point. The backend integration is completely owned by Quantum. Your team does not have to take the headache of saying, okay, what do I need to do? You just basically deploy your network the way you do that. While you're deploying, we will do the backend integration with the booking system, or we'll create the complete authentication solution, which is entirely cloud-based and scalable as well. Our cloud-based authentication system, wireless service management platform, is scalable. Today, you have a co-living space for 100, good. You become 1,000, even better. No changes, just bump up the license. You get to 10,000, we've got your back. So you need not worry about anything at all. And every location, now this is a very open-ended line diagram which we have put, but we can make sure that the entire solution can be split into multiple sites. So I've got Bangalore, I've got Mumbai, I've got Pune, I've got Calcutta, I've got Hyderabad, I've got New Delhi. All these sites can have their own authentication solution. However, they're all part of the parent authentication solution. So Delhi would have one part, Bangalore would have one part, and all these will have part. But the main management platform will remain one. So for an IT manager, it becomes a charm to manage it. So at any point of time, he wants to see that how many people are connected. He can come to know. He can do the analytics. He can know what operating systems are running. He can know how many clients are running. He can know how many people are roaming from one side to another. He can block it. If somebody does not pay up, off. The user goes offline the internet. So now you have got an absolute control, and now a Wi-Fi is not an IT expenditure alone. It is a machinery to make sure it is business-centric Wi-Fi services. So you do not have to let go of anything at all. So what we do is, all these things are all talking about a gateway-less architecture. So what it does is, it reduces your total cost of ownership. No recurring gateway license cost. Every year you're harnessed for some money for the gateway appliance. There is AMC and whatnot. You do not have to get into all that. No on-prem controller licenses and support. We are a cloud managed network. You do not have to pay a penny for management of your Wi-Fi access points. Yes, Wi-Fi service management platform will come at a price, but not the management of the access point. The wireless network stays completely free of cost to you. We are completely eliminating the hardware dependencies. So no hardware controller, no gateway controller, no nothing. You have got a system which is fit to fight, which is resilient, because we follow a distributed architecture. You need not worry about the system, how it works, or how problematic it might become. Everything is distributed. So even if there is a problem, it will stay isolated to a certain subset. It will not pull down the complete site the way it happens with a gateway level device. And user experience, like I said, we are going to come back and bouncing back on this again and again. We are going to make sure that you have got an enhanced user experience to any person who's accessing the Wi-Fi. Let it be an IT personnel or let it be a user, co-liver or a township resident. You have got everything under control and you can quantify it. You can run surveys. If you want to do surveys, you can run surveys. You can do a lot of stuff. Fulfillment Quantum takes the entire thing to the next level. So this is something which you might say, oh, I can try and do it with a couple of OEMs mixing up and I will integrate it. That is your headache. You have to make sure that the X speaks to Y speaks to Z. If X says, I'm working fine, check with the Y says, I'm working fine. Z, check with Z. Z says, I'm working fine, you can check it like this, check with the rest of the two guys. You will not have to face that problem with Quantum, and that's a guarantee because we take the complete ownership. And that is what the Quantum Collab platform is all about, under which we offer this. So Fulfillment Quantum takes everything to the next level is the customized Wi-Fi experience which you can get. We create it. We don't extend it. The difference between creating is that your one township can ask for something else, your other township can ask for something else. We customize each and every solution the way they want it. We don't say one size fits all. We say that you need to make sure that you understand the requirement, make us talk to the customer, we'll understand their pain points, or probably make them understand of the probable pain points which they might be having, which they might not have realized, and give them a solution. The best part about this, let me come back to it. I'll tell you. Self-service portals is something which we can offer. Now, self-service portal is basically this thing. Now, let's say you got a house in a township of, let's say, an NTPC or something. I do not want an IT personnel to be looking into my network. I do not want them to control which. I want my daughter to use internet. Why should I go to the IT personnel to get access for her? So a self-service portal. Now Abhijit Poddar can log into a self-service portal and let's say I am allowed 5 devices or 10 devices. I can now self-service myself that this is my device, this is my laptop, this is my wife's phone, this is my wife's laptop, this is my daughter's iPad, and this is my daughter's desktop. These are the 6 devices and I control them, which allow and which not. Self-service portals are hard to find and we have managed to create that as well. So that is one thing which we can guarantee that takes that Wi-Fi experience to a really next level, which clients want. Or probably they don't even realize that they need it because there is no other OEM who's trying to talk this language at all. Internal and external communication. You've got a fest coming up in your township, or let's say Sula is hosting a wine festival in one of the co-living spaces. Why don't you run it as a communication? Why don't you use it instead of the notice board? Why don't you use the Wi-Fi portal as the information media? You want to put up details about COVID-19. Instead of sending out messages, instead of pasting posters on the wall, why can't we just put it on the Wi-Fi page, which they are going to see every day? Internal and external communication. We can help you to generate revenues if you want external advertisements running on your internal network. We are bringing up that service as well so that you are able to get money just by running ads as well if you want. That's an optional thing. External communication is an optional thing, but we can do all that for you. That's not something which everybody talks about. And the best part, monetization. Services are to be given. Agreed. But what if my daughter consumes every day 10 GB of data on downloading stuff or probably doing stuff which she should not be doing? You can quantify it. That if Abhijit Poddar's family is allowed 100 GB a month, or let's say 200 GB a month, after that, just like the way Airtel does it to you or any other ISP does it to you, they bring down their speed. You can now do that. Somebody wants to pay up extra, you can just basically give $1 a dollar charge for another 50 GB. So what we are saying is the IT expenditure can now become a business centric and also a revenue adding mechanism. And it is all optional. These are parts of the tools which we are giving you. So if you want to use the screwdriver, use the screwdriver. You want to use the plier, you can use it. All I'm saying is I'm laying it out in front of you on a table to make sure that you have a system which is customizable, which is going to make sure that you are going to be really, really specific about how the Wi-Fi utilization happens and the way you want to control the user experience. As easy as that. So this is exactly what we have done. So we have got customers for backing up us now. Zolo Stays, a Bangalore-based company, 10,000 plus co-livers. Not 10,000 of them are with us. Let me be honest about it. They have just started to shift away from their existing vendor to us because they saw the value which we are bringing in. And that is a commitment which we have given to them. Now we have received our first, we are about to receive our second order from them. So that is where they're starting to shift. So everybody now can use it. Townships, we've got Indian Railways, Modern Coach Factory, Raebareli. We've got a huge township, and it's a complete Wi-Fi which is now serviced by Quantum. We've got a plethora of customization, brings up a lot of offering for you because then it opens up a whole plethora of services which you can now offer to any vertical. So I'll tell you, Health and Glow, for people who know of this brand, 194 stores are running with Quantum. We made a simple retail solution. We made sure that if somebody comes and connects to the Wi-Fi, they are forced to open the app because that was their business requirement. Self-checkout. They wanted to enable self-checkout. They were not able to get enough apps on their clients' devices. So what we said is you put in your mobile number, the moment OTP is revalidated, it opens up the app if it's already installed on the phone. Otherwise, it takes you to the Play Store, tells you to install that app. So we took that pain point which they had. We didn't talk about the 2x2 or the 4x4. We said, what is the business case which you're trying to address? We addressed their business case with the customized offering, and 4 orders later, all their stores and now all their future stores are going to be on Quantum with a single management interface, and they can now do an analysis how many people came on board, how many people walked in, how many people bought things, and they're now able to do analytics, helping them in the business. Now an IT expenditure is not doing value addition to their business. That's what Quantum does, and that's what the difference is. We've got hospitality clients all over the place. Radisson Hotels has now given us a nod, and they're running their network on their corporate office in India, which is a SARC center now, which they're running us for last almost 5-6 months now. Oh, sorry, 7 months. We replaced Cisco and HP, by the way, there. Cisco and Ruckus, sorry. Healthcare, we have got a lot of hospitals running with us. We've got government and PSUs. We've got China Telecom is not the right name in today's state to put in, but anyway. We've got NDMC, we've got Indian Railways with us. There are multiple hotspots we can create, wherein hotspot solutions can be customized to the edge. Enterprise, for customers in India, we have done it with Jindal Saws. Jindals have approved us in multiple of their units. We've got co-working spaces which are a replacement and a rip-off, ripped away the existing OEMs, and then Quantum has entered. So we have gone up against all the enterprise gamers. We have gone in against every small-time player, not all the small-time players, but yes, with the non-enterprise players, we just take the tip of the iceberg and take that market up to the enterprise game. So that's what the advantage is. So one announcement which I would want to make, which is going to bring me to conclusion of the first part of my presentation, is the classroom program. Starting 4th of May, we are starting our certification programs for sales and technical people. It's called the classroom. The details would be sent across to all of the people who have attended our webinar and have attended our one-to-one training sessions. Yes, we are doing one-to-one training sessions, and we have completed over 60 training sessions till now in last 2 weeks, wherein we have now 2.5 weeks to be precise. wherein now partners are now getting everything which I talk about in brief in webinar in one-to-one sales technical discussion across on a web call where they they are now addressing all their challenges, and we are getting a lot of positive response from partners. So if any of you are interested, please feel free to reach out to us. We have got our account managers. If you're connected to the account manager, let us know. You can reach out to them. Otherwise, you can reach out to me. There will be an email which will be coming out from my email address. Let me know. I will connect you to the relevant email account manager. So Classroom goes live on 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. A Star Wars reference for people who don't know about it. So I would really appreciate if you guys come across, and you are going to be the first batch of people who are going to get this exclusive invite for this training session. So please feel free to reach out to us for any clarification. That is the first part of my presentation. I am going to throw open a couple of things. I want people to raise up queries right now. And for people, the 70% people who have already seen it probably can attend the next session again. But if they want to miss out on that, that's always okay for us. Okay, so we've got some questions. We have got Tushar Raval. What will be the pricing for services and licensing? Good question. This is a user-based licensing or access point-based licensing. Okay, so depending on the kind of user count which you are going to hit in, the pricing would be worked upon that. You can reach out to us. We can discuss it on case-to-case basis, and we can give you that. The best part about this is, if you have a heterogeneous network, we will help you integrate with other OEMs as well. So Tushar, we'll have your back even with the other OEMs. But yes, you'll have to buy quantum access points as well. Ravi Shankar asked us, for the projects and some cases, it needs to produce OEM letters and tech support from OEM along with training. So quantum, how quantum is addressing and supporting to the SIs? I didn't get the complete reference. Ravi, if you can rephrase the question, I can actually answer this better. I would like to answer this because if there is any documentation needed from our end, we will be able to do it. But if there is something specific which you are asking for, we can do that. Ajit asked us, is the solution per user subscription based model? We have got two versions. We have got an access point subscription model. So per access point pricing, which can have 30, 40, 50 clients. It is useful for standalone deployments. And we have got a user batch also. So if you want to start off with 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, or so on and so forth. So you have an option for that. So Ajit, I think depending on the kind of solution which you want. So that is where I'm saying, you reach out to us for a solution. Let's not take pricing as a fundamental thing for signing off or rejecting the quantum in any opportunity, because in some places user bundle will be a cost effective. In some places access point based pricing would be better. That is what my experience has been. Ajit asks us one more question. Is the platform support add injection and run video pre-login? And yes, videos can be put in on all the web pages which are there. All the interaction pages, you can run videos and you can do a lot of stuff. Advertisements, yes, you can create your advertisement, and we also help you to create those analytics. So how many visits were there, how many interactions were there, did somebody click or not? We can give you all that information as well. Okay, Abhi clarifies what Ravi said. Ravi is asking to have authorized partner certificate from your side. Is it possible? Client to, yes, we can do that. Abhi, so basically all you have to do is sign in to partner.quantumnet.com. I'm going to write it down on the chat for everybody so that all of you have got that link. Please register on this particular link and you will go ahead and start working. You become a partner. Then once the classroom program starts in, You will now, with the certification of your team, can upgrade yourself on the tier level as well. We have got partner tiers which are available, which come with amazing backend schemes, which needs another call. So we can have a one-to-one offline discussions on that as well. So I hope Ravi, Abhay have addressed your point. You can get whatever documentation you need, Ravi Shankar. I do the sign off on the documents. You let me know. I just need to run it with the legal. We can turn it around in a day's time. So I'm clearing off your last question. I think we have cleared that off. So any other question? So we are doing one-to-one training sessions for partners, and we have now also started some end customer sessions as well. Due to these successful Qafé Quantum sessions, a lot of partners have come back to us to do a similar session for all their customers. So now Qafé Quantum is now branching out into two ways of one partners, the one which I'm doing right now, and then we are doing customer centric Qafé Quantums as well. So it would be a specific event just for one partner. One partner calls in their end customers and we do a session basis on the kind of vertical which they have got. So we cover all the verticals of the clients which you bring in, and these are all focused webinars which would be focused primarily on every client. It is going to be a round table. It's not going to be a non-speaking webinar like this. It's going to be a round one where everybody is going to be there. Abhay, very nice thing which you have asked. Guys, we are already on YouTube. Just look up Quantum Networks. You'll find all the webinars in the Qafé Quantum series of webinar, and you'll find all of these things, including this one, which will be up probably in a day's time for people who want to share it with somebody. But I would really appreciate if you want to come in and organize some webinars for specifically your end customers. We'd love to do it. So Dan asks us a question: what are the major challenges using Wi-Fi in apartment buildings, and does Quantum address this concern? So Dan, this particular thing can be like the addressable challenges which I just said. It is the coverage and the cost effectiveness. So the best coverage I can get in the most cost effective access point is the biggest challenge of major apartments. So we do that very efficiently. The second is the authentication solution, which is there. So we give you a completely customized authentication solution, which makes sure that we have the right mix of people and the authentication solution matching up for the kind of apartments which are. So if you're talking about an apartment and an MDU which has got about 400 MDUs stacked up right next to each other, the kind of solution would be different. If you got a single tower of 50 apartments, that is something which will ask for something else. So I hope I've answered it, but pretty much the challenges will be different depending on the kind of size of apartment or the kind of users which are obviously, and the kind of money which they have got. All right, so we got, oh wow, amazing. So we got about 94% people wanting us to do this training. So you will get an invite for a training, for a registration by the end of the day today. Please feel free to register. We'll set up 3 slots and whatever is convenient to you, you can let us know. We'll fix that up. All right, so we will get down to a very interesting part, because why quantum is even more important. So for people, I'm just running a feedback from all of you guys, because for people who might not join us to the second half of the presentation, might not be able to give me the final feedback. So I just want people who are there, who are attending us, because 70% of you have come back to us again. I want to take your feedback right now, and we'll keep you posted. Now, one more update which I've got for Qafé Quantum is, now we are leaving the vertical focus. If you see my slide, now we are going to technology focus. We are now going to talk about the first one, which I'm doing next Thursday, is Wi-Fi 101, the basics of Wi-Fi. A lot of it which are misunderstood, like A very simple thing. People like to sell 4x4. Why? What is the tangible reason? Do we have to sell a 4x4? Does AX sale right now contribute to anything technically to a client? When do you think an access point decision is right or wrong? How do you make an access point decision? All these things are going to be there. So if you want to come join us on our next technology focus webinars, feel free and let me know. We will keep you inviting for all our technology sessions, and we are going to be very, very efficient in making sure that by the end of the bad situation which we are in due to corona, we are going to make sure that all of us are well prepared and we are addressing our clients much better than what we were. Probably I'll learn something from you guys, from something I might not be right. I'm also a normal human being. I might pick up some things from you, and we're going to make sure that we are well prepared in terms of addressing the market more aggressively, and we will be focusing on verticals which are going to be a very efficient return of the time which you have spent with us right now. Thank you very much.